Hey everyone, Cypher here, and this is the very first episode of something I mentioned back in my update video. And for those who didn't, this is, well, episode 1 of what I'm calling the server review, which I pretty much go into a server and, well, pretty much just like give a review to it. Especially if I'm in the server for quite a while. I go back to it after a while and get used to it, then I'll definitely say, dude, like talk about it. And here I'm pretty much going on to my squad and just like muting these two yahoos. I don't know who they are, don't care, they weren't helping out, so plain and simple. As well as I'm going to be doing a bit of a commentary as well that goes along with the video, but it's more closely to the end. So the server that I'm in here right now is called OP Clan Server, run by the platoon known as Our Place, and they have a page on Battlelog, which a lot of platoons slash squads have, and I'll admit it works great. They do a good job. I'll admit that. They control what's going on in the game, or at least in their server. It's pretty much fun. Most times. Now, definitely good things about your server, guys, is that, well, obviously you do a very good job of controlling spawn camping that's going on in the game, which is great. Not many servers do that. Like example, if they see like if their buddy spawn camping, they're not gonna kick them out, and it's on other servers. You guys, if you notice it's really bad, you are gonna deal with it. Like I remember one time, it's like one of your younger members of your clan or server or platoon, I should say, was spawn camping us like within like, well, that was pretty cool right there. Like I don't know, like within 20-30 meters from the U.S. spawn point on Tron Highway. They're like right there. It's like I messaged the which I found out is actually one of the leaders of the platoon, who's also the owner of this server. And I was like, hey, one of you guys is over here, give them a warning or something, because that's not really cool. And they messaged back and said, like, yeah, I'll tell them not to do that. They're not supposed to be in that area. Thanks for getting it. If they're done again, I'll take care of them. I'll kick them out if I have to. That type of action is great. And I was very pleased to have someone like respond to like thank you, or even like an admin. It's like I wrote a message to them one time to like, hey, you got these spawn campers. Tell them to pull back. Let us back out. And they wrote back and said like, hey, I tried telling them, they're not listening. And I'm going, hey, if I were you, I would kick their little sorry asses out. And hey, they're not listening. You have the right to kick their asses out. Plain simple, because the first time I came into the server, I was with a friend, and one of your guys, I think it was one of your admins, had his mic on and said, hey, everyone, don't spawn camp the other team. Let them capture a point, and let's move forward. And I think it was on Tron Highway, actually. And it was like, oh my goodness, thank goodness. And here's just a random message from some player. Okay, whatever. But yeah, it was just... It was a great time. When I heard about that, I was like, all right, finally someone's actually standing up for this thing. Because I'm on both sides of someone spawn camping. I've been part of a group that has spawn camped people, as well as been being spawn camping and everything, and that's been on the server as well as others. And I'm at, oh my goodness, that's horrible. It is horrible. Now, definitely some parts I say it's kind of bad. It's not really too bad, but yet it's a nuisance, and I could probably concerned on how probably quite a few other players are probably thinking, well, playing in your server. All right, and it's that the fact is, example, at the start we had all 4 bases were captured by the opposite team, the Russians. Alright, well, this is Caspian border, so it's easy to get around it and reconquer bases quite effectively well, so it's no big deal. But if it's like Operation Metro, or even the Canals map, and if the other team has all 3 bases conquered, you pretty much are hopeless well, not really hopeless, but you are stuck. You can't proceed forward to conquer other objectives at all by any means, because of the fact of you're pretty much really spawn trapped in your spawn. You can't get out. And honestly, I can understand you guys, are trying to do your best to control what's going on, but it's like, oh my goodness. If they're not listening, kick their asses out. Plain and simple. If they're not, well, we have an issue. Plain and simple. We have a issue. So, another thing that I also want to state about is the fact is, I can understand this is your guys' your clan's server, and you want to hang out with each other or team up, and that's perfectly cool. I would do it too if I were in your shoes, but it's like, if one team, like say if you conquer one side of the, like, oh, we're gonna put all our guys on the Russian side and all the randoms that just jumped into the room are on the American side, it's like literally impossible to win a match with that method, because you guys are all coordinated, you're all communicating each other, you got your, you're working out your plans, and just you're doing good, effectively well. But you go to the other team, we're just going, what are we supposed to do? We're stuck. Yeah, sure, if someone was like, understand, hey, it's conquest to move forward, conquer points, so forth. But you have these idiots, like, example, my two guys are on the bottom, alright? It's a recon and an engineer. It's like, hey, I'm gonna, soul flame the guy and you jab him. Okay, you guys can do that, but you're off in the distance. We need you guys out in the front lines to do that, too. Alright, like right there, okay, you haven't checked that out. Alright, well. But it's like, oh my goodness. When you're dealing with randoms versus a team of fully coordinated people, it's the chances of winning are like practically nothing. You're at 0. Alright, but if it's like clan versus clan, well then it goes 50-50 because they go either way. And that'd be really cool. Now, I really should have said this back in the parts I say are really cool, is you guys are switching up your modes for the maps, which is really good. It's playing Conquest on every single map of the original maps. That's cool and everything, but after a while it's going to get old, and so by putting Team Deathmatch in or Rush, you kind of balance it out and you go, okay, to test yourself as a real Battlefield player, you got to be adaptive in the other modes. So that's really cool. But like I said, you're only playing on the original maps, and it'd be cool if you could play on say put the BTK maps on, and probably hopefully you put the Armor Killed ones on as well when the DLC comes out. Now, definitely stuff that you guys could improve on to help make this your server be incredible. People want to come back to it as much as they can to enjoy this. All right, and this is definitely, I would say, is like two more, like say, that whole customer's review portion, and they say, hey, this is what I would say you guys could do to help improve your game. Alright, now first off is definitely is with the whole spawn campers is basically is, if they are really abusing them, you give them a warning. If they're not listening, kick their asses out. Plain and simple. Like example, if someone is in one of the scout choppers on, let's say it's Z11 for the Russians, and they're spawn camping, flying around the spawn of the U.S., taking out to their choppers or stealing their choppers, left and right. Alright. You tell that person, hey, back off or you're kicked. They don't listen, you kick them out. Plain and simple. Alright? Just be, someone's like, okay. Just like I say, I would help out and balance out the game, at least for your server wise, really. All right, now of course when it comes to you guys hanging out with your clan, now that's like cool and everything, but before a game that was recently shut down back in June, I really should more say, it was called Metal Gear Online. I was part of a clan which my friends were on, and actually the whole clan was technically friends, so it was no big deal. But it's like, we played against each other and teamed up with each other so many times in our own game room that basically we were able to adapt skills and techniques in order to be effective soldiers on the battlefield. Of course, that was before the game was shut down. But, that's a whole different story. But still, it's like, maybe you could do is say, okay, we have 8 people in our server, sure, maybe one match or map, or however you want to call it. You know, you're all together, and the next you swap out, and you're, I say, it's 4v4. You know, 4 guys on one side, 4 guys on the other side, and the rest are the randoms, and they fit in and help out the other team deal with the situation. Alright, you know, it's like, hey, okay, now you guys can hang, you know, play here and have fun. And enjoy yourselves. But, of course, the choice is up to you. And, of course, definitely, like I said, when it comes to the maps, sure, the original maps are great. And I have nothing against them. And actually, I think these are pretty good. However, it'd be nice to add maybe the BTK maps in as well. Because most people now have Battlefield Premium, because actually in a recent report, we have like over 1.7 million people have registered Battlefield Premium. That means they're members of it now. So it's like, hey, cool, I could. That's made people, but you know how many? You know, of course, that's across the board. Does that say, hey, it's all on PS3 or so forth? So it's like, all right, that's really it'd be cool to put the BT camera somewhere like such as Striker Hard 10, Gulf of Omen, Sharkey Peninsula, and then Gulf of Omen. That'd be, or not Gulf of Omen, Wake Island. That'd just be great to see, you know, this, you know, other maps that are in the game here. So definitely, you know, it's just a nice idea. And of course, if you guys want to do it, be my guest. And of course, if you want to say any comments to it here on the video, be my guest. I'm all for, like, say, hey, thanks for this tips and so forth, and your concerns, or something like that. It'd be great. All right. Or you can always message me on my PSN if you want. But more likely, the best communication methods here on YouTube. Alright, so now moving on to the commentary of this gameplay. Alright. Now, I will admit that DICE makes us do some hard work. Like right here, I had to get 20 kills with the 18 mines in order to earn the camo. And then, of course, that was the last one to unlock these final stages like Woodland Stripe, as well as Navy Digital Blue, or Blue Digital, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, okay, it's really cool. And then, of course, those are the assignments from, you know, the premium members had to do. You got to get so many kills with the certain things and so forth. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. DICE is nice. And I can understand you guys are, you know, DICE is making us work for the stuff that's like, hey, we're noticing, you know, X number of people are not using this attachment or a setup, such as like, oh, you know, that many people are using 18 mines. Okay, we can fix that. Done. Or they're not using EOD bots, which actually that was one of the things. Actually, was on like the MTAR 21 for the Close Quarters DLC. You had to get you had to get a kill with an EOD bot. I'm like, okay, that's really cool, but the problem is the EOD bot isn't nearly impossible to utilize effectively well because the fact of it, its controls are, you know, wonky. Best way to describe it. I'm like, it took me like forever, and it took me, actually it was on Team Deathmatch on Wake Island. I had to sneak up behind a sniper that previously killed me. He stayed in the same spot, which, you know, that was a failure on this part. And it's like, okay, drop EOD bot out, run down to him, and burn him with the EOD bot's torch. And I'm like going, yep, there we go, done. But I remember back in for the BTK's DLCs, it was like, get a kill with a blowtorch, or that repair tool. Oh, okay, that's actually quite easy to do because you just find a camper. Done. That was it. It was simple. Very, very simple. And especially it's kind of humiliating to being killed by a blowtorch. But definitely I'll admit that the 18 mines, oh my goodness, the problem with the 18 mines is players that have, you know, they're on the tank or the IFVs, if they have thermal optics, they can just see it and they go boom, 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 blow them up and they're done. They clear the pathway. Of course, I know it's easier to say, hey, you could just say, wait for a one of the Doom buggies that come and hit by and you're safe. Or I should say, the transport vehicles. And that's like true. And here I'm like running away like, oh, please don't kill me, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. Whereas, and actually racking around with the Scar H here with that new camo and veteran camo on, so I kind of blend in like a scout ninja, or hunter, or whatever you want to say, or call it really. I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah, it's like DICE is making us do these hard stuff, and I'm like going, DICE, are you trying to troll us in terms of like what we have to do, or you're just trying to make us utilize something that we are not using as much? And like going, but either way, honestly, once you get the stuff done, it's like you get this accomplishment either way. Like example, in order to earn that Woodland Stripe in Navy Blue Digital Camouflage, which is for the soldiers to wear. You had to get like 500 kills with Assault Kit, 500 with the Engineer Kit, 400 with Support, and 300 with Recon. That means, of course, you could use PDW or the guns from that kit to get stuff. I was like, oh my goodness, it took it's forever, like 500 kills. It's like, pick a gun you're not using and just keep using it when you're killing. Example, if I was using an assault rifle that I have not used, I'll use it through the 500 kills with it and basically earn the 100 kills dog tags, first service star, all up to the 500 one, which then you get your mastery version. Or the same thing with the carbine gun, of course, in the 400, it's like, hey, if I have ones that already got 100 kills already, done. Or swap between the guns that I'm not using, it's 400, that have not been used, get the 100 kills on them. It's like, done. The same goes with the recon stuff. I'm like going, oh yeah. So it's like, oh my goodness, it was horrible to do, but worth it in the end. More than in the end. Now, of course, definitely, I'm really anticipating on getting, or not anticipating, but really ready. I really want it on the whole Armor Kill. It's been coming out in actually just a little bit over a month now. Just over a month, and I'm going, oh man, I can't wait to be a gunner on that gunship, the AC-130 gunship. That'd be freaking epic. Use the mobile artillery, run around the desert in the ATV. It'd be great. I mean, super freaking great. And of course, everyone's ready for seeing is like, yeah, but the problem is that the consoles are not going to get that really fully utilized the largest map in Battlefield history to the fullest, because of the fact of we don't have that size, and which kind of stinks. But you gotta set it and you gotta push forward. All right, got to push forward. And I'm like, okay, dokie, I got to do that, so I'll deal with it. Plain and simple. All right. But it's all well. But definitely, I've been sending actually my concerns to DICE in terms of I've been saying, hey, can you do this for us? Like, can you add this for us to have? Example, here we're on Caspian border. On the PC, they have the mobile AAs with them. And also they have it on Operation Firestorm, and it's like, why can't we get those mobile AAs as well as on our vehicles on the PS3? It'd be great. It would be super freaking great to have them, because the only time we really get to use them are on 2 modes on 2 maps. The Wake Island, it's for Conquest and Rush. Rush for defenders, and Conquest is like whoever gets control of the airfield gets it. And then it's Defense Rush on the Canals map. That's it. That's it. You don't really get much to use it here on PS3. That's kind of like, come on, we need practically more opportunity to utilize it, because it's like, sure, I can get the shortcut for where if I wanted to, but it's like, why should I? It's quite pointless. Alright, it's quite pointless to get by the shortcut. So I was like, hey, can you give us a more opportunity for it? I can understand if we can't get it because of, say, maybe our size or the disk space and so forth. I understand that, but it'd be great. And of course, some of the other comments that people are saying, like, hey, can we get this as well? Example, I think someone's like, can we get a Barrett 50 cals in the game? I'm going, that actually would be cool to have a Barrett 50 cal in this game. For long range shooting, since they are, that type of round is able to shoot very, very far. Of course, technically, And these the sniper rifles can't shoot long distances. You just have to aim properly in order to get it. Because I remember I had to get a 350-meter headshot with the L96 for one of my assignments, and that was kind of tough. I thought it was gonna be cumulative, but no, it's not. You have to get it almost on that one shot. I'm going, dang man, come on. It'd be cool, but it was tough. It was quite tough. So yeah. Now, of course, here for my viewers that know about, I have the Rookies Guide, which that was back when I was still first starting off and had quite a bit of experience, and now I'm definitely got a lot more experience, a lot more knowledge in using the kits and so forth. So I will be definitely doing a kind of like a remake version of the like what works. Like example, okay, if you have this gun, this type should work. These are guns that you should use if you unlock it, especially if you get the DLC type guns, etc. Especially, I still will be working on getting the vehicles guide done sometime this month. I've been working on it, but I've kind of like a little taste of what I'm going to be doing. Right out of the gate, it's going to be for example, it would be like easy. I was messing around with the tank, the M1 Abram, or I was messing around with the F-18 Super Hornet, I believe it's called. All right, as well as you saw, I was messing around with one of the Doom buggies. And it's like, okay. Well, it really is not really Doom buggy, it's just a normal kind of like a Jeep in a sense. But yeah, it's like here, okay, and here in the tank, okay. What I rock on this, just kind of give a heads up, would be it'd be the auto reloader, thermal optics, which is right here, and then a caster shell, which is one of the cool attachments I have. I used to be using something that was called the guided shell, but I don't use it as much anymore because I found out the caster's rounds actually are pretty effective on many situations. And then go to the Jeep, and then go to the jet, the F-18. I'm gonna mess around with air radar, IR flares, and rocket pods. For a while, and of course I swatch it up between what mode I'm in and what type of map I'm on to determine what I would be using. And I like that, like I just like floats down and like, whoa, I come down. I'm gonna help you capture this point. Cool. It was like weird. Now, kind of get a heads up. And I probably will re-mention this in the guide, the vehicles guide, is that I bought the shortcut for the air vehicles because flying the vehicles in this game is tough as hell. Oh man, it's tough. That's like, okay, guy practice and you get your butt in gear, do it. But yeah, nonetheless, this is pretty decent gameplay of, of course, here on Conquest on Chaos being border, which I feel like this is a fairly good one. Of course, one thing I kind of like grieved and I say, guys, why you not do this? Is I driven my Jeep, both from Russian and the American side, and taking some of their vehicles into that comms tower, that tower that falls down near the end of the map. Which we did see it back in the campaign. All right, and it's like, hey, we can go here, but why can't we not attack here? All right, why can we not attack? This point would be, it'd just be cool. Yeah, I try shooting here, thinking like, hey, let's get the guy, but I finally get him here with the splash damage, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's like, why can we not use that as a checkpoint? It'd be great. PC guys get it, but why can't we get it? Who knows? It might just be cool. Of course, it's like simple. Why can we get certain things as well? It'd just be really, really cool. Alright, it'd just be like really cool, but oh well. It's one of those things you just accept and deal with. And of course, it's kind of sad here I didn't pay attention to my mini-maps in the tank snuck up behind me and attacked me. So they had the element of surprise sneaking up on me, and I will give points for that. Alright, but yet, however, they can't turn to me, and I should turn, but I was disabled, so it's no big deal. Oh well. Failure across the board, you would say. Failure close to the board. But nonetheless, yeah, I'll admit this was a fairly cool gameplay. I did pretty good, and it's just especially seeing the unlocks for you guys, seeing how how long sometimes it takes to earn certain stuff. But the 18 months is like, yeah, like I said, like if someone's got thermal optics on with a tank or 9 feet, they win because they can blow up your mines. However, like example I did on that activation point, whatever you want to call it, C point, Charlie, where however you want to call it. It's like I put on top of that hill, and as soon as people come on, it's like it's too late. You get blown up. And of course, it's kind of funny when people kind of fall for it at the same time twice. It's kind of like, what's that? But I think it is Dice's way of saying, hey, you guys are not really utilizing this. You have to. You gotta check it. Like here, okay, look, I'm running across the field in my tank at full speed. Yeah, you're hearing that they're calling in like we're gonna shoot down the tower now. I'm like, thank you. But it's like I said with the whole being spawn camp, it's like, hey, D's being taken. I'm just gonna go around them, come from the side, and attack them from behind. No, because that's weak spot. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's why definitely here. Spawn camping's like nearly impossible to really do, but if you're on like say Canals or Operation Metro Conquest, it's like very, very nearly impossible to survive being pretty much getting your ass rammed in by spawn camping assholes. But best way to beat a spawn camper is to outplay them left and right and pretty much send them packing. Like here, take out that guys. Oh, guy gets knife. I'm gonna go and kill that little bastard there. My Glock 18. Oh yeah. Hell yeah, Glock 18 for the win. And no crap tank. And woo, survived. Thank you. End of round. And of course, we won. Yeah. And it's third place overall on my team, so it's not too bad. I accepted and I did pretty well. But it's like I said, for you OP guys, hopefully that you understand the first part of the video. And if you have any concerns, you can comment it here or private message me here on YouTube. And I hope that my viewers, you hold out longer, because I will be definitely doing the vehicles guide this month and probably the redo review of tips for the kits. And I'll probably do one episode per kit once again. So, until next time, everyone, see ya!